Testing 1, 2, 3. Welcome back to stream, guys. Whoever's watching this or watching the VOD. Back at it again. I'm working on some random stuff right now. There's some things I want vibe coded. Testing again. I don't know if the music is too loud or anything. I might turn it down a bit. I'm trying to make this little push up app thing right now. It's basically an alarm to help me stay awake. Yeah. Grind continues. Okay, I do though. Nico just posted, and I have to watch this.
XAI just released specs. It's a pretty good model, but I think this is actually.
One thing we'll do first is do another grok session. Actually, let me try something here. Apparently Gemini is somewhat good. I have a Gemini subscription, so I kind of want to try that out. I feel like I'm overthinking all this design stuff. I've been on this for so long, but I'm trying to make it look somewhat good. I like this the most. A bit simpler in comparison to I don't know what the point of showing strength is. I think I like these two the most. Wish I was like 10 times better at design, but can't be great at everything.
Really a bigger deal than.
I have so much stuff running right now. I'll try this a bit later. Let me look at I'm going to install all the MCPs and stuff again. I probably should have set that up. Because, why do these guys do projects, man? I fucking hate projects. I think I can just tell it to. Should be able to figure this out. I had this design system. No, I had the paper MCP to anti-gravity and test that it's working. I don't know why it says I had. It looks said add the. I'm not sure if it's just me. Maybe Super Wizard is just bad, but like oh my days. This is one thing I hated about anti-gravity in the past. They just did not figure out. Wow. Always allow. What do you mean it's forbidden? I'm like one of the worst dev experiences. Oh my days, bro. Hopefully the next time when I have turbo mode on, it's better. I don't know what Xcode is whining about. Oh, yeah, whatever. I'll need. Oh my days, bro. So annoying. I think I would have to start a new session for this to stop. Okay, finally. Did it work? Okay, it says it worked. So what is the screen? The seeker? What is that supposed to mean? It's a horrible design. Oh, I see what it's saying. Oh, so there are different types. Well, we need an actual icon for this, and it should be called a seeker. I think we can figure that out later, though. This should not be called the seeker. We should figure out some different reset types and names for our app, and also have an actual icon here. Fix this in actual development. Let's add some text here and say like not ready. It's screen is mostly fine. I feel like we should add like actual we can send this off to it to figure out. See what anti-gravity is capable of. New project. I want you to create a different prototype of this screen. Create 3 or so different prototypes. I want the stuff below, like those stats, those percent stats. I want you to add more content to there. Either add like a list of linked sources, or add like more reasoning as to why. This will help people stay consistent. Make sure to follow the design system that is in paper and the design system that's inside the repository. Also come up with some other layouts that you think would be good for this type of screen. Kind of show why the 66 days is a good barometer for improvement. See, this thing will figure it out. Create the prototypes in the prototypes page and paper, not in. Do not replace the screen I linked. Create new prototypes yourself. For that, what's happening?
Most people think. We can skim through their release marks, which might give you the 0.6 is on the level of the best models from Anthropic like Fable and Opus, or from OpenAI like GPT 5.6 Soul. And I'll tell you that despite what the benchmarks say, that's the case. My favorite benchmark is Deep Sweet, but at this point I feel like benchmarks absolutely story, even real world usage, it's kind of hard to compare models because at this point certain models are just better at certain things. My favorite at this point is Fable.
Design is absolutely horrible, but or I can't click anything. The hell is this? It looks horrible. I think needs to improve this. Should just use Luna. This is terrible. Okay. So code questions should open in their own tab instead of just in this little thing as you're here. I have to create like a new session. Soul, like medium. It's fine, like a reference design image. I'll be showing the browser. Well, first of all, I watched the video.
5.6 is better as well. So while 4.6 is very good, if it's who cares? Why does this matter? Well, I think there's a few reasons. Mind that Grok 4.5 just came out last month, and according to Elon, Grok 4.7 should be ready in 3 to 4. Says it's significantly better than 4.6. Actually pretty inclined to believe Elon. It's kind of hard to know because, I mean, in this tweet you see he says it's significantly better than 4.6, but in another tweet over here, I think on the same 6 minutes later, he says Grok 4.7 will exceed all current models. That's a pretty big claim. Now, they do have a partnership with Anthropic. He's implying that it's going to be better than Fable, which I think most people would agree is overall. Say I did sign a deal recently with Anthropic to lease. Whether it does exceed all current models or not, it's very clear, I think, that the XAI is going at now is on par with the Frontier Labs, OpenAI, and Anthropic of Google at this point. Hopefully Google can catch up, but I'm not for that or anything. Now, I'm not like a huge benchmark person, but it can be useful at a glance, and so look at the Grok models on artificial analysis. Looking at the intelligence one, which I think is definitely missing in my opinion, because when you see that Opus 5 higher than Fable 5, it's hard to take this one serious. You do see that 4.6 is pretty close to, or Grok 4.6 is close to GPT 5.6 and the Anthropic models seriously, but when you look at the next couple, Grok is pretty fast, or at least reasonably fast, I think. Significantly faster than Kimi K. But most interestingly, I think, for task. So we saw earlier that intelligence-wise on the benchmark, it was on par with Fable and Opus. Like it's doing it at a much lower cost. Pretty K3. And there's a few reasons I think cost matters in the first place. I think one, it's clear I coding race be pretty aggressive with pricing and subsidies, or else you're kind of just going to fall out. I think that is probably the biggest reason that Cursor actually sold themselves to SpaceX in the first place. Clear that they couldn't compete on like UX and stuff like that alone. The whole reason that people are going out and spending $20, $100, $200 a month Codex subscription or a Claude subscription is because you know in terms of like API pricing, you're going to definitely get an ROI on that. But Cursor couldn't really do that. They did not have their own models. I mean, they kind of did with the Composer models, but that was just kind of, you know, a wrapper almost the open source Kimi K 2.5 models. Cursor had a lot of user data. They have a lot of, when it came to actually building their models, they could only really, they didn't have their own massive data centers filled with GPUs like SpaceX does. And I think that's why the acquisition, despite what a lot of people were saying, $1 billion is a lot of money, sure, but I think compared to all the other things that they spend money on, it was worth taking, and I think we're starting to see some of the results of that. There's a few more points that I want to make, and it's related to why aren't using Fable 5. Quick break. I think today's sponsor, Greptile, can make your life a little easier. Because it's an AI code review.
These designs, bro. I'm sure these are supposed to be pages. Like, these look horrible. This one's the only one that looks minutely good. Yes, this model is not good designs, so it's bad. Rock is like the only model that's done good on design for me so far. I'm gonna take all these and, well, yeah, delete them, but I don't know what I just did. I need to move like screen, guys, like not. Yeah, this. What in the world is going on? It's like moving something else. Oh, it's like lagging. Okay. Listen, we won't do it that way then. this, Command X, all this, button throw away. Not very good. I'm gonna give the exact same prompt to Grok, and we'll watch as it does like a significantly better job than I will give it this inspiration image though. I'm really liking Grok so far. It's like probably my favorite model right now. Hey, one last thing. I need you to create a plan to improve the loop line site. First of all, the design is bad. I've uploaded a image that we should take inspiration from for the design. Went to my other screen. So what should we? Some guy a long time ago in an article I saw posted a really cool way to like get design inspiration. I guess pen is also. So how do I not have that thing installed? Because they have infinite. I have so many applications installed these days. They have infinite MCP stuff right now. This is very cool. Let's see if we can find this article. Oh, I know the name of the tutor. There we go. We already talked about design. Yeah. Alright, this thing generates endless designs. Damn, what is this? It's actually pretty cool. Maybe we should say like a leak code learning website. Fine. Sign up my friends. Probably should have asked Soul for a prompt. Yeah, I kind of like this. I'm not gonna even lie. This is also not even bad. How do I go back? Oh. So we can even remix colors. I'm not sure who created this slide, but this is pretty cool. Add this into bookmarks. Damn, computer's blowing up. It's Brave. Close other tabs. Leave, I don't need that anymore. Solder. Probably because I have so much stuff open like this. Like this right now. I don't need that. Don't need this. 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 Don't need this. Don't need this. Don't need this. Don't really need this either. May also just be this website, to be honest with you. I kind of like this one. These are all pro features. Kind of like copy an image. No. Let's copy paste this. Don't copy exactly, but take heavy inspiration from it. Obviously, you still need to think about UX, making sure that the user experience is really good. That's the main thing I want. One thing about the website, it was like opening questions and like a drop down. Questions and problem answering, the code editor should be in its own tab. I also cannot click any of the other tabs on the page when I was trying to use it. I could only click one button, so the entire functionality of the site needs to be made sure that it's actually working. Yeah, I couldn't click learning path or progress or mistake journal. It's all just blank. Also need to know if we can use my ChatGPT subscription instead of an AI API. I am fine with the API, but I just wanted to know if we could use my ChatGPT sub instead. Chat GPT. Also for the emailing, we should use the Gmail plugin that's in ChatGPT work and integrate that. And then for texting, we need to figure out what the best way to implement that is as well. So I need you to, if you have questions on what you need from me or need more clarification, ask me questions. And then we need to write a implementation plan for another model to implement. array was just completely exited. I don't know what happened there.
In terms of like API pricing tokens, you're gonna definitely use it, and it's worth understanding because it's not that different from how a developer would do it. Basically at neatcode.fyi/reptile. So why aren't businesses using Fable 5 as much as you would expect? Well, if you look at this chart, this is basically the business spend on Anthropic. Well, these are Anthropic models.
Cursor. What the hell? How's Cursor still working? That's crazy. Hopefully it didn't just eat all my usage. No, it's still half decent. I do have Grok as well, so this is horrible. I don't even know what this is. Okay, he moved it down. This is kind of good. I think I like this as the bottom. This right here. That's the only thing I would change.
And this purple down here is Fable 5, and you can see it's basically been flat, maybe even slightly declining recently. After the introduction of Opus 5, that's kind of grown a bit, but you can see Opus 4.8 and 5. And the math is the amount of money, only 11% of that is spent on Fable, where OpenAI models, their best model is 0.6 Sol, and 25% of the total spent on OpenAI is on their best model. So why is that? Well, we can only speculate, but some of, I think, the pricing, if you take a look at the thing, it's $10 per million input tokens and $50 per output. That is the most expensive model. If you look at 5.6 Sol, it's $10 for input and $30 for output. And if you look at the Grok model, 4.6 has the same pricing as 4.5, which is $2 for input and $6 for output. If you look at the long context window, so their price. Pricing it a little bit. So if it goes over 200,000, you can.
I don't even know why I'm making this with ChatGPT work now, because like it's effectively just a web app at this point. I thought ChatGPT work would be able to use my ChatGPT stuff, but it doesn't seem like that's
Well,
the
like I said,
case.
individuals typically aren't paying the API pricing. We're using the subsidized plans. If you're using Grok, the main ways I think people are. One, I guess, is Grok Build. That's kind of like their Claude Code, like terminal. Things about it, I haven't used it much myself. I've been using Grok Cursor, which I think is where most people are probably using it. Particularly unlimited usage of Grok in like a Cursor plan, at least like the $200. I have the Ultra plan, and that's important because if you were using it before for the GPT models or the Anthropic models, you'd run out of. Cursor is pretty viable, and as the models get better, more of the case. And so now it does become a three-man race between the AI and Anthropic. I think things are going to get interesting. And before I talk about that, one thing I want to mention, just to be up.
And Grok took forever on that. That is not typically the case. And again, a lot of this is just not very good in my opinion. I think this right here is pretty cool though. I think I'm just gonna paste it like. Why is this showing 2? Yeah, that's what we want. I don't know why. I'm just gonna move it like right here. Okay, let's see if I can improve the efficiency of some things here. Oh, maybe not. I think it's fine.
Front is another potential reason that hasn't increased too much for Fable.
What even is? I feel like there's no point to ChatGPT sites because like you can't link it to your OpenAI subscription. What's the point to using ChatGPT sites or just building your own web app or mobile app? I thought maybe you could link it with your OpenAI subscription, but looks like that's not even possible. What benefits does it even provide? I see again like data tracking. Oh, you can control secrets. You can easily do that with your own web app. You can connect to the main. I think this is useless. Even oh no, you can literally create a web app in like 20 minutes with. And you don't have to set up hosting, but like hosting is not even a hard problem. Yeah, I think I'm pivoting this. I think this is garbage. It's like a waste of time. Hey, it look good, looks good, but I think I'm gonna pivot this to using to making like an actual web app outside of ChatGPT work and ChatGPT sites. So I need you to expand the implementation plan to include that type of setup. Choose the best and easiest stack to work with to vibe with this application. I will not be using a ChatGPT site for this. I'll just be making my own web app and hosting on Vercel. I think it's gonna be a lot easier. So yeah, modify the implementation plan to include this pivot. After you're done writing the implementation plan for that, you can just delete the ChatGPT site. I won't be using it anymore. I just don't see any reason to use it when I can literally just create a web app. It's way easier. The screen is not a use. We don't have a community or anything, so can't use that. Yeah, I can't use this either. Did we not already have a building? Oh, okay, building your, okay, yeah. Yeah, I need to added a background here that I don't want. Just do ungroup. Get rid of that. Just Command C this and Command V, or Command X. Those right here. I'm going to tell it to you. I'm going to try something. Command L. Let's do grok. New chat. Let's do it on like low. Expand the copy on this screen. Don't expand the length of the screen. Just add more copies, so it actually fills up until the continue button instead of leaving all that white space. Let me pull this off.
Policy for I think pretty much all the other models, companies opt out of having like their data stored on Anthropic servers, but for Fable, Anthropic says that's because they want to make sure that their models aren't being used to like for abuse and stuff like that, which is fake. At the same time, I can see why that would be like a non-starter for a lot of companies. But unless we were to go and actually ask for companies, we don't really know how much of it goes into pricing and how much of it is. But here's where I'm going to have my little monologue. I don't think it's a secret that OpenAI and sort of in an existential crisis. I think that's generally the life of a startup. Sam Altman, you've raised high valuation. How is revenue ever going to meet expectations? And to my surprise, and maybe a lot of other people's surprise, it actually, even in this chart, you can see in the last that the overall spend big models has increased. It looks like, over 20%, 20 to 30%. It's not exactly linear, but it's clearly growing, and the same is true for OpenAI. I think Anthropic is profitable right now. It's possible that OpenAI might be pretty soon too. We've seen that these two companies are going public pretty soon. So, in an existential crisis, well, I think when you look at the business model of these companies, compare it to something like Google, where I think part of the reason that Google has fallen behind, I think, in the AI rate, that they can continue to exist, aren't the best, and in some sense, even their priority, part of the reason that prioritize speed and cost when it comes to their models is, well, when you look at their business and how the models are going to help them search and AI summaries and stuff like that, it's kind of the priority for it to be faster.
Is my automation still running here? Sure, why my computer feels like it's running slowly. Might be because I'm streaming. Oh, and then cursor. Yeah, I'm running like cursor and codecs, which didn't have to do that. And obviously, cursor is using. What in the world is this? What's it doing? Should just maintain the original design. Where's the chat we were just at? What the? I really need to improve the UX here, man. This application is so bad. Okay, but I had a new chat. Oh, there it is. Oh, my use is getting tanked.
Than cheap. You look at other companies. Take a look at XAI. It raised a bunch of money. They bought a bunch of GPUs, which now they're leasing. They were in the same rate companies as the other labs, but they fell behind. Once you fall behind, you can't really catch up when you fall like far enough behind, and that's exactly having. Well, we saw SpaceX, Elon's companies, acquiring XAI, another one of Elon's companies, because that was the only option at that point. Otherwise. And we kind of saw something similar with Cursor. Cursor fell behind because of many reasons, mostly that they didn't have their own models, and they fell behind, and so they couldn't really subsidize, and they sold to SpaceX. And now, because of SpaceX or XAI is sort of back in the race, at least close enough, and with the next model, they might get even closer. And so now that it's sort of a three-man race, along with the Chinese open source models, I think it's getting a little bit the frontier labs, because the whole
Sign here. Oh, I need to sign in with ChatGPT. Why does that look like the pi symbol? I wonder if pi took for them or if they took it for pi. That was a Gemini API key. Cursor API key. Do have API keys with open code. I don't really want to do that right now though. I kind of just want to use it with Grok. Okay, whatever. Yeah, so I was gonna add this P2 cursor, verify it is working. Holy guacamole, ask agent design. Can I connect pi? Doesn't seem like I can connect pi. However, I think I can get pi to connect to itself. Go.
Business model of these labs is that they're
Okay. Yeah, we have the revised implementation plan. Hello, Mr. Judgment Nomad. Thank you for tuning to the stream. Copy this code. Come on, Mac. So annoying. Loop line. Just in there. And I have Luna work on this. Codex. Let's do Luna. Let's do Max. Do goal. Do gauntlet loop. Just do at loop line. Let's update this. Okay, it looks like it fits this. My pi is also working. Nice. Get that image again. Let me give it. I'm gonna give it. API key. Let's not do this on here. Actually, it's gonna go to privacy mode for a second. Hey, we should be back now. Implement the loop line web application. Use Git while going through it to commit. Make sure you have a clean Git history. Just have it running locally first. We'll deploy it later. Try and emulate the design shown in the image. Obviously, don't copy it. Don't paste it. Just use it as inspiration. Make sure to make a design system and design MD file so that designs stay consistent. Make sure to have really good UX. Use computer use to verify your work, and make sure that the app is functioning correctly as the implementation plan suggests. I put in the .env file an API key for my open code Go subscription. You should use that for the AI API and use DeepSeek v4 Flash as the model and test that all AI functionality is working. Continue working on this until you can verify that the site is in a good MVP state and that all functionality desired is working. Let's see if it got DeepSeek. Did not get DeepSeek. Bro, we're so bad. Yeah, so I should go for a hot minute. Okay, so now it's like too much text. What did they do here? Maybe I just need bigger fonts or something. Oh, okay, I see what they did. They added like this little carousel thing. I think you should tell it to do that. Do we have the rest of these core rhythm screens? Just going to dump this over here. That's back. So many screens here. I want to have kind of like a simple carousel like thing for these screens. Instead of like each one being a separate screen, I want it to be, well, design them as separate screens, but in the application, we're going to have like a carousel that we can swipe through the different core rhythms, and just view them kind of similar to the inspiration image. I don't want you to create exactly like they do. You can make it kind of minimal and simple, but I just want to be able to scroll through them on each page, have like the different, the different copy. Make sure to keep the copy concise, and then also add like in the inspiration images to have like a little card section underneath the bullet points. This is like impact on your body. Create something like that, but for our app idea for Bible Reset. Yeah, I want to see some prototypes of those screens. For the background images, use the OpenAI API key to generate some images that fit with the design system and other images we already have in the application. And yeah, create those prototype screens in the prototypes page and paper. Then I'm going to do this prompt in here. Do not make any changes. See if I want to do it on medium. There we go. Actually, pause the goal. Stop. Use SQLite, not supervise.
They're going to have the best models, because if you don't have the best model, it becomes a commodity. People are just going to switch to whatever the best, cheapest model is. So you can't get too far behind. Now, in order to actually make the models, you can have the best researchers. There's still a lot of money in like investing in GPUs, memory, training costs, and all that stuff. I mentioned the inference to actually run the models and sell the API calls and all that to customers. Support this. The companies have to either, one, money, and as we get closer and closer, it's not really going to be raising like VC money and stuff. It's going to depend more on like the public markets. And two, companies have to make a profit. Well, Anthropic is already, right? Well, partially, but this is sort of a race, but in some sense it's also a marathon. Google
Write a concise paragraph that can use as a prompt into this website called variant.com. I want to just generate some mobile screen variants for the Bible Reset app. So I just want to give it a pretty basic and concise prompt. Just give it an idea and some general context around what the app is about. think just this variant website is going crazy. I wonder how much of my very surprising how not performant their app is. Very interesting. Not all these are that great, though. This is kind of interesting. Not really. This is very basic, though. Yeah, whatever. Pretty interesting, though. It's Carousel Chrome. Create a couple. Create variations. Minimal. And I want to see options A and B for sure, but come up with some other variations as well. And see if with these question asking, I get some better results. Two more decisions. Oh my days. I don't really care about the copy. That could be changed later. I think this is where we're going to end the stream for tonight. For anybody that tuned in. Yeah, keep on grinding out on this.